each and every one of us is on a journey or a path. Or as I like to think of it, we're almost climbing up this ladder, so to speak. And right now, you're in school. If you know the answer, just shout it out. It's going to be an interactive presentation. And on the ladder of life, where do you belong? At the bottom. The bottom. You know your roles too, all right. Now, after school, maybe you're going to go to college. All right? So you finish college, maybe you're going to go get a job. Get a job. Then after that, you set new goals, because you're going to have to achieve new things. Again, keep it more positive note here. We're always going to have goals, we're always going to be reaching them, and then we're going to be setting new goals. So that's merely an example of a path, though, right? Just an example of a journey, example of a ladder of life. What we can all agree upon is that each and every one of you has something you want to do, somewhere you want to go beyond here. But if you look at where you are right now, you're at the bottom, you're at the foundation of your life. And if you're building a house, most important part, foundation. You might have a giant house. Foundation crumbles, house crumbles. You're building that foundation right now. Along the way, as you're building this foundation, you're going to have to make certain choices. And when you're making choices, when you're making these decisions, you use knowledge. Now, knowledge is made up of three things. One thing that you're getting right now, formal education. The second thing, personal experiences, things that you experience. You learn from that, right? Hopefully. The third, outside influences. Outside influences, these external influences. Now, we know about the consequences when it comes to tobacco. Like when it comes to smoking, what are some of the consequences? What could happen that could affect your life? Cancer, I heard cancer. You could die, that would definitely affect your life. You would just stop right there. Respiratory problems, like COPD, emphysema, things like that. What else? You could smell funny, absolutely. You could get addicted. That definitely affect your life. What do you think? Your teeth could fall out. Could make your lungs black, cause lung problems. So perfect. You guys know all of these, right? Why am I here? Because, really, if you look at the consequences, we know that it can cause yellow fingernails. We know that it can cause different types of cancer, whether it's lung cancer, mouth cancer, tumors, growths. We know that it can actually affect your circulation. We know that it can cause wrinkles. We know all of these things, don't we? If you look at twins back to back, and over the years, the smokers versus non-smokers, we look at it and we see very clearly one a little more wrinkly than the other. 29 years of smoking. Now, although we know all the consequences, we know it can go wrong. What are the excuses? What are the excuses that we have? Pressure. Like, what's that called? Peer pressure. You can help me out. Come on up. You said peer pressure. Can you please tell everybody here what the definition of peer pressure is?
They made you do it.
They made you do it. So if I have like a cigarette right here, I'm like, come on, smoke! That's not necessarily what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. And if that happens, seriously, get new friends. True story. Not necessarily what we're talking about, but it might be telling you to do it, pressuring you to do it. Sometimes we actually pressure ourselves. We pressure ourselves just by the external influences. For example, we're going to walk up here, you're going to shake hands, you're going to offer him a smoke, all right? That's it. You're not going to say anything, just shake hands, offer him a smoke, however you would normally say it. Not normally say it, but you know what I mean.
You want to smoke?
Do you see this? We'll do it again, it happens fast.
You want to smoke?
Did you see the snap? Did you see that snap? That snap is how long he gets to decide what he's going to say. He's not going to come up, shake hands, and be like,
You want to smoke?
let me look at my ladder of life. Let me think about all the consequences and what could go wrong. Let me think, what would my mom want me to do? Is that what's going to happen? No, because it's like 5 minutes go by and you're like, dude, what's wrong with you? Instead, as you're walking up, maybe you're approaching, maybe you're just gonna go hang out, and all of a sudden he comes up, and maybe they surprise you, like, I had no idea she smoked, and I got a mad crush on her. And she smokes, and I want her to like, so then we're gonna, and all of a sudden you walk up and you're seeing all this stuff, and you're like, I don't want to be like the outcast. You kind of, you know, no, I'm cool, and all of a sudden, hey, you want to smoke? Sure, crap. You made a decision in a split second. Based on wanting to be accepted, based on the external influences, seeing people, and thinking about how they view you. And you make that split-second decision that can cause a lifetime of regret. Give them all a nice round of applause. Thank you very much. You can have a seat, Jordan. I mean, even those friends that you knew from kindergarten. I'm not saying like, you know, kids in kindergarten are doing, that'd be ridiculous. But think about it. Think about those friends that you knew all of your life, all the way from kindergarten, and then they start smoking. And could it influence your choices? Could it influence your decisions? What I want you to remember is that although we have these external influences, these people that influence us, you can be that same influence, but you can be a positive influence. And that's the thing when it comes to leadership. You can set the stage. You can set an example. Don't live to try to impress others and what you think they want you to do. Instead, look at your ladder of life and make choices that are best for you. See through the illusions, because you know what? That's exactly what they are. They're illusions. The power of perception, man, it can dictate reality. Watch, I'll show you. What I want you to do is stare right here. Don't look away. I'm going to count down from 10. When I hit 1, look at my head. Not until then. Here we go. 10, stare. 9, 3, 2, 1. Look at my head. See, we always think we're logical people. We make decisions. We stop, we think logically about it, and then we act. In reality, the reality is we often react first, then we use our logical mind to justify our actions. For example, with my head shrinking or growing, it didn't really happen. But you saw it happen. If you thought logically, you'd say, well, his head couldn't shrink or grow because he'd be dead. Therefore, it didn't happen, so it's not funny. What really happened, you laughed, and you said, I laughed because I just saw his head shrink and grow. Using your logical mind to justify my actions, right? I tried it because I wanted to rebel. I tried it because my friends were trying. I did it because you only live once, and you need to experience different things. YOLO. So you justify your actions, even though we know what the real consequences are.